Hi, I'm Councilmember Andy Yeoman.
And I'm Councilwoman Rebekah Cohen.
And let's go for a walk.
Let's do it.
So the reason we're on Aztec Road today, and what is this, Chestnut?
This is Aztec Road.
This is Aztec and Chestnut's up there, right?
Back there,
Chestnut's back here. The city of Doraville did get a $200,000 grant through, it's called CDBG, Community Block Grant Money, and that's awarded through DeKalb County for certain lower income census blocks. Is that correct?
Yes.
And part of what we're going to use, all of what we're going to use the money for is replacing some of this sidewalk. We're actually walking towards
Boy Middle and Cleary Route. I remember walking on here with my kids in strollers when we first moved here, and watching cars whiz by at like 45, 50 miles an hour and almost like tipping into traffic. We were like, we're going to go on a different route.
I can imagine.
But some kids and families, they have to use this every day, so clearly a priority for the city to address. Now we're getting
this looks scary. So this is, I'm guessing, going to be replaced.
Yeah.
And this is not a standard sidewalk. Sidewalks are usually 4 feet.
Yeah.
So how much is that? About a 3 foot sidewalk?
A little less than 3 feet.
Wow.
On top of that. We can barely walk side by side. I mean, right now we can, but up there, not so much.
Oh, this is crazy.
Yeah.
So you can actually lift it up. Maybe not.
Maybe you can lift it up. You see there's like a big blind curve up there.
Well, it also looks like there's a power pole in the middle of the sidewalk.
Yes. It's always good. I'm just thinking of kids when they cross right here, which hopefully they don't, but that's a very dangerous curve to cross.
Right.
Now this is nice and wide. I also don't know that I'd want people walking that closer to the road without some kind of buffer. Just don't feel like this is a good place for the crosswalk because it's right on the other side of the blind curve. But look here, the sidewalk, you just roll off into the street.
Wow.
I'd like to see us do something to make that a little safer.
Yeah, it probably does require a handrail. I want to stop here to see.
I like how you literally can't see a car coming. That was nice. That was a little scary.
So this is the crosswalk for the school, and it's on a blind curve.
Yeah. Maybe from this side it's a little bit better, but coming from that side, crossing over, that was a scary experience. And then just walk into the bush.
So this is where the sidewalk ends, right?
Yep. One of those sidewalks to nowhere.
So there has to be a crosswalk because the sidewalk ends. How fast do you think he's going?
Probably 40. And this road's always 25 miles an hour, but no one really ever goes 25 miles an hour on this road.
About how old is that community?
It was built in the late 80s, early 90s.
Yeah. So it looks like they did build a sidewalk at some point to serve that community maybe 20 years ago.
Yeah.
And it just stops.
Right. Then we get to the grand entrance of Sequoia.
Do you know how much overcapacity the school is?
170%.
They're 170%, so that's a lot of people walking.
Yeah. The school was built for like 700 or 800, and And then on the other side, you have 600 kids at Carrie Reynolds, but until like 2 years ago, you had almost 1,100 kids at Carrie Reynolds.
Yeah.
So there are thousands of kids coming to school, hundreds of kids walking to school.
So now we're passing Sequoia Middle School and going towards Carrie Reynolds, and we're where the sidewalk ends.
Yep. And there's a nice blind curve. We have 2 flashing lights. Like, no wait, that's the only flashing light.
So this would be the path to walk to elementary school.
Isn't it fun?
First grade or second grade.
Yeah.
So in terms of funding, we're in the middle, a little more than halfway done with the SPLOST. And the projects that are left in SPLOST, most of the sidewalk, I think all of the sidewalk projects left in SPLOST are Winters Chapel Road and Oak Cliff.
Yeah.
So we still don't have, unless SPLOST gets extended, any money outside of some grants to complete a lot of this, it seems like.
What do you think is the solution?
The city is doing a better job of getting back to the basics of
Yes.
common service delivery, paving,
One of your key
potholes,
elements. Yes.
sidewalks, trails,
Yeah.
but still some lost focus.
Yeah, I definitely think that we need to make sure we're taking care of, these very often used walkways and sidewalks, because there are hundreds of kids using these sidewalks every day, and I think the sidewalks that get used every day like that really should be our safest pedestrian walkways. I think it's great you're doing the Walk with the Councilman series. I think it's really going to help highlight some of these seemingly small projects, but these are really important projects that would mean a lot to the residents, I think.
I think so too.
I mean, I don't even know how to go about crossing this safely as a kid. You're like looking this way, hoping a car sees you.
See if they stop.
Right across.
So I'm at the crosswalk. I guess they don't want to stop.
And it always made us nervous. I just rolled my ankle in a crack. It always
okay?
made us nervous. Yeah, I'm good. I'll blame it on the sidewalk.
So this again, we're down to like a 3-foot sidewalk that is completely.
Imagine being on a wheelchair,
You couldn't, no.
trying to roll over that. I mean, if you tipped, you'd be in the street. But look at all that. I mean, this part is fairly bigger than a foot.
With a sign in the middle of it.
Sign in the middle.
So in closing, I think it's great to see that we're finally seeing some traction on replacing some of the capital assets in the city, namely repaving some of the streets and replacing some of the sidewalks. And really the staff has been doing a lot of legwork in terms of applying for these grants.
Yeah.
So kudos to them as well.
Yes.
But there's a lot more all over the city that needs to be done. So this will be a series of videos that we're doing. This is the first one, so thanks for joining me. The next is going to be, we're going to do them on Winters Chapel Road. We're going to do a video on Oak Cliff Road and the Peachtree Industrial Access Road, at least to start, and then possibly Chestnut.
That's great. I actually really appreciate you doing this, Andy.
No problem. Thanks for joining me.
Thanks for inviting me out. Okay, thanks for coming to our district.